Dear friends, let's continue with Interchange 3, and thank you very much for ever support my channel. Today we're gonna go to Unit 3. In the Unit 3 we have request, using model, if, clauses, and gerund. As the new subject, we call them less formal using can, or could, or may. Okay, first one. Let's say we have model, then plus subject, plus verb root, or something called them infinitive, then object, then please at the end, then question mark, because here we have auxiliary verb, which is model. In the beginning then we have to put question mark. For example, we say, may I borrow your camera please? Then second one, can you lend me $20 please? Then third one, could you pass me the ketchup please? If we look to all those sentences, first we see here the model, which is same thing, we call it auxiliary verb. Then we have the subject, then we have the root of the verb, which is going to be borrow. Then the rest with the object, then we have to make a question mark. Same thing here. Can you lend me $20 please? Or could you pass me the ketchup please? The second one, we have auxiliary verb, or auxiliary sometimes we say, then subject, then adverb, then we have if clause, then we have a clause. Then the clause, we said it because whenever you have a group of words, then with the subject, then with the verb, then we call them clause. Then sometimes we have an object also with them. But if we have group of the words with missing one of them, subject or the verb, we call them phrase. For example, is it okay if I use your phone to make a local call? Then if we look here, we have two sentences. This is first sentences, and then we have if clauses. We have the second sentences here. The second sentences here. If we see, we have the two sentences are connected with if. Then with the if, because this is we have a present, then this side also will be present. Then we could say, is it okay? Then connecting if I use your phone to make a local call. Number two, do you mind? The first sentences, if, the connecting between the two. Then we have the other sentences, I sit here. Same thing we see. We have two sentences. This is, we call them the clause one. Then the second clause here, which is connected by if clauses. Or sometimes we say if condition. If you look here, present, this side also present. Then we have if. If we have if in the center, we don't use comma. But if we have if in the one side of the, for example, starting from the first sentence, then we have to put comma. Let's continue. Let's go to the second one. Does your family mind? See, that's the first sentences. If we stay late, then we have two sentences, two clauses connected by if. That we call them if clauses, because here we have auxiliary, then we have the subject, then we have the verb, which is the root of the verb, and sometimes you call them infinitive, sometimes you call the basic of the verb. Then we have if clauses connecting the two sentences. Then we have the second clauses, we say subject, verb, and then we have adverb here. Okay, that's how we call it if clauses. Let's go to the second one. Does it bother you? That's the first sentences. If I turn the volume up. Same thing, clause. We have two clauses connected by if. That we call them if clauses. Then the first clause starting with the auxiliary verb. Then the second clauses starting with I, which is connecting the two clauses by if. Then we put question mark because we have auxiliary verb. We have the other kind. We have a modal, which is going to be auxiliary verb. Then we have the subject. Then we have the verb root of the verb, or we sometimes call them the basic form of the verb or infinitive. Then we have adverb. Then we have if, the clause. Then we have clause, which is subject, verb, object. Okay, let's do this. Would it be alright? That's my first sentence, starting with the auxiliary verb. Then the second sentence started here. I use your library card today, which connected the two clauses by if. That's we call them if clauses. That's the first sentences, or sometimes say the first clause, and then the second clause here, which is connected by if. The action will start soon, because the action will start. That's the reason we say, would it be alright if I use your library card today? And then we have the same thing but in a different. For example, look here. Would it be alright? The first part is exactly same, but the second part, when we have here if, then the second clause is I used your library card. It means the action is already started, and then we connect it with if. Then we say the action is already taken place. If we compare those two sentences, we see the first part exactly same as the first part of the second sentences. We have if, but if we look here to the second clause, we say I use your library card today. It means the person will gonna use it maybe later on, but the second sentence, if you look here, I used, it means already the person has used it, the library card for the other person. Okay, that's the difference between the two when we use or used. Let's go to look at other sentences. Would you mind? The first sentence is if I turn the TV off. Here we say the action will start soon. Okay, then let's go to the second sentence. Would you mind? You're asking somebody for permission. If, same thing, we have it here. Then the second clause, I turn the TV off. Then we say the action will start soon. Because if you look here, the first part here and then the second part here, the two verb with the if clauses, we say it's in the present time. But if we make it in the past, then it means the sentences will be changed. If we look here, the other sentences. Would you mind? Okay. Then we say if I turned, if I change it here, I turned, if I turn, okay, let's go back to the sentences. Would you mind? That's the first part. If, we say the condition and the connecting two clauses, we have here, I turned the TV off. It means the person already, he has turned the TV off. We say the action has already started. Let's go to that. When we have, sometimes we could delete the if condition. For example, here, sometimes we delete the if condition. Would you mind? I turned the TV off. We delete the if. But when we delete the if. Then we say, would you mind turning the TV off? Then we have to delete I with it. The other subject we want to do it here, we say, would you mind? Then the second part, if, then I turn the TV off. It means here the action has already started or begun. Okay, let's go to continue. Sometimes we have deleting the if condition and the subject, then change the verb into gerund. If you remember here, we said it when any sentences, you cannot have two main verb in the sentences. If we look back here again, for example, you could say, would you mind if I turn the TV off? We looked at the sentences here. We have the first one, the first clause, would you mind? Then we have if connecting the two or if clauses. Then we have the second clauses. I turn the TV off. Sometimes we say we could delete if. We delete it. Then if we look here, so if we keep it like this, then because we're gonna run on sentences, because we have two clauses in one sentence, we cannot, then we have to delete the subject. Okay, if we delete the subject, then we're gonna have here, we're gonna have two verbs. For example, would you mind? Then we have another verb, turn it. Then we have to change this verb either to turning the TV off. Now it's perfect because this is gonna be gerund because already the action began. Or sometimes we say, would you mind turning the TV off? This is, we call them the past participle. Then, or sometimes you could say, would you mind to turn the TV off? Then we make it infinitive. It's also work here. Let's go to the other sentences. Would you mind, the first clause, if I turn the TV off? Okay, the action is already taken place. Okay, here, because here I have it is in the past. Then if we delete if, we could do it here. Then we take if here. Let's do it step by step. Shall we? We have the sentences here. Okay, let's look here. We delete if. We're gonna have two sentences. We're gonna run on sentences. Either we could delete I also the subject. Now it's okay because we say, would you mind turning the TV off? Because this is gonna be the past participle. Then it's no problem. Or you could change this one, as we could do it here. Then we say, to turn the TV off. That's also possible. Or sometimes we could say, would you mind turning? Because here we have turning the TV off. That's when we say deleting the if condition. Okay, let's continue. Then we have another kind. We say subject, auxiliary verb, gerund, if plus subject plus modal plus verb root or the root of the verb. Sometimes we say infinitive or the basic. Then we have a subject. Okay, let's look at. I was wondering. That's my first clause. I, subject, was, auxiliary verb. Then wondering, we have gerund. Sometimes we call it verb with ing form. Then we have if, the condition or connector. Then we have the second clauses. Would you say, You could give me a hand to move this heavy couch. Okay, we have a subject here, then we have a modal, then we have infinitive verb, then we have the object, and then the rest we call them the complement, give me extra information about the sentences. Then we have it here, we have if connecting the two clauses. Okay, then we have the other one. Sarah is wondering, subject, then auxiliary verb, then wondering as the gerund. Then here I have if, then we say you can assist her solving a math question. That's the two clauses. We're connecting two clauses to each other by if. Okay, if we look to the first side, we say this is in the present, this is we have can. But if we look here, because here I have it in the past, then I make it could. Then it's gonna be the modal in the past, not the sentences in the past, the modal in the past. Okay, thank you very much for watching. For the next class will be Interchange 3, Unit 3, indirect request. We have two kinds of requests, could be indirect or could be direct. This then we say request which is indirect.